Hey y'all, it's Lindsay. I have not posted a video in a little while, so I thought I would do a quick live just to, I don't know, prove that I'm alive. I don't know. That's silly. Um, anyway, I hope y'all had a great Thanksgiving weekend, experience. I don't know. Anyway, we had a really good time, just spent it with family and eating a boatload of food, like a literal boatload of food. So, trying to get back into the rhythm and routine of our regular life, not overboarding our food choices, getting back into step with our regular homeschool routine, and, just trying to get back into it, but also knowing that the holiday season we're in the thick of it now, and it is going to derail us a little bit as the time goes on. So, plus we're in the middle of a bathroom remodel, so that has been taking up a lot of our focus. It's a slow process. My husband still works, therefore we have less disposable time to work on that project. We have a household here to manage, all that jazz. So anyway, I have not put out a video. I had all of these grand ideas to pre-film a bunch and release videos a couple of times last week, but it just didn't happen, and I decided not to sweat it because ultimately living my life with the people in front of me is more of my goal than stressing myself out with trying to be hyper consistent here on this platform. I think that's important, and I enjoy this as a hobby, but it is not my number one priority in my day-to-day life. So I did not get out any kind of pre-filmed content, and we're just going to move on from it. A lot of people are in the midst of doing Vlogmas this year, where they vlog from the beginning of December through Christmas. I'm not planning to do something like that. I just don't have the time, energy, or mental focus to get something like that done. I'm probably not going to do more than about 2 videos a week, as I have been over the past, I don't know, several weeks at least. Excluding Thanksgiving week. Just kind of trying to stay as consistent as possible because I really do enjoy this hobby, and seeing that people are watching actually does encourage me to carry on with doing this particular hobby. I think regardless of whether people watch or not, I still enjoy putting out content, even if it is marginal content at best. Let's call a spade a spade. We just have our daily lives going right now on top of, me wanting to have hobbies. So usually the hobbies are the first to get set aside on a shelf until time permits for more focus. So that's where we are with that. I really didn't have much to add. I'm pretty sure that I didn't weigh myself before leaving for Thanksgiving, and I did not weigh myself immediately coming back from Thanksgiving. But I am pretty sure that I gained about 5 pounds. So it's one of those things where you just kind of roll with those punches and keep moving forward. And yeah, I don't know. I feel like the desire to talk, but I feel a complete aimlessness in my mind to even think about what to talk about. I have been playing around with a couple of little recipes here and there, but I haven't really been doing much. I did order the Trim Healthy Mama, Trim Healthy Future book that they pre-released, was it mid-November? And it got to me before Thanksgiving, but I didn't really dig into it or anything like that. It's kind of an interesting book, actually, as far as the approach that the author Rashida took versus what Serene and Pearl, who are the Trim Healthy Mama writers, typically took. She's very minimalistic in her not her descriptions so much, but in her actual recipe instructions. And it's kind of like the extreme opposite of the way that Serene and Pearl wrote the first book and the second book and the third book. So it's interesting for sure. And I think it leaves a lot of open-ended interpretation, which I think Rashida probably cooks a little more similarly to the way that I do, as far as like not having a anything more than some ingredients and you just toss them in and see what comes out kind of approach. So it's interesting. And she does have a lot of really good drinks in that book, but I haven't really, like I said, I haven't dug in too deep into that book because of everything else going on around us. What else? I don't know. I feel like I've been struggling a little bit with our 3-year-old. She has been in rare form since we've been off routine for so long. From like the big girl's birthday, the following week we were doing some schooling, but also, you know, Thanksgiving preparations. The whole week of Thanksgiving, we didn't have our normal routine of lessons and things like that. So the littlest one, she has been a bit of a bear to try to wrangle and put back into a standard routine as we like to have. And I don't know, it's been a thing, but it's gonna be fine. It's fine. It'll buff out. She'll get back into the rhythm and it'll be better. She was really excited that we got snow here in Ohio, and that our neighbors, they've got their Christmas lights out already. And I mean, granted, it is December 2nd, so of course they would have Christmas lights out by now if that's what they were doing. And she's always so excited at night because she calls it her Christmas. It's no one else's. So she's excited about that. The big girls are kind of like falling back in step with the homeschooling rhythms and routines. And yeah, just kind of plowing along while trying to manage a less than routine season of life. And I don't even know. I genuinely, I don't know what else to talk about, but I have a desperate desire to sit there and just chat about nothing. I guess it's like the Seinfeld live version, I guess. Did y'all watch Seinfeld? I watched Seinfeld growing up, and if it is on the TV, it's not on TV for the channels that we actually get right now, so I don't get to watch it very often, and it makes me long for the DVD collection so I can just put them in and not even need to have any kind of, you know, cable service or internet to be able to stream anything. It's a little silly, but it's fine. It's fine. I have been toying with the idea of doing an egg fast just to get back on, just get my brain refocused on my way of eating. I haven't been eating any sugar or any wheat or carbs of that nature. I've been back on the regular keto train. I did eat off keto for the entire Thanksgiving meal, just because I felt like, you know, it's not the end of the world to have a meal that is not keto. So I went back low carb keto once Thanksgiving Day meal was complete, and that's been good, but it's just sort of like a slow drift back into the low carbing ketoing. And I have been testing my ketones. I've been testing my blood sugars. My blood sugars have been riding a little bit higher, which is a little bit concerning to me. And I need to be just a little bit more mindful and see when I'm testing and what it is that is triggering those a little bit of blood sugar spiking. So that's sort of a thing I'm trying to get back in the habit of doing. My ketones are, when I tested them yesterday, they were at 0.0. And I'm still testing out my Keto BM Plus monitor that I really like it in general. I just don't know if it is super consistent compared to other monitors, just because I have never tried any other monitor, like the Keto Coach or the Keto Mojo. Those are both a little bit more expensive units, and their strips are more expensive than Keto BM Plus. So if I can discern whether or not the Keto BM Plus is actually accurate and consistent, I will stick with that because I like the cost on their strips much better. But man, I'm looking a little bit tired. It's been a lot of talking and a lot of disciplining of tiny humans today, just so that we can make it through our lesson work. But anyway, I'm also real blown out here in front of my big giant window in my living room, so I'm sure that's a factor in helping the dark shadows sort of be a little bit more obvious. But regardless, I have been testing out a ketone powder and exogenous ketone powder, and it's kind of an interesting thing. I'm not really sure that I discern any major differences, but it does show as increasing my blood ketones, which makes sense. It's an exogenous ketone powder. So I've been testing that out a little bit. It tastes really good. The company seems pretty solid. The ingredients seem pretty solid, and hopefully at some point I can do a review video. I don't think review videos actually do that well unless somebody is intentionally seeking out that particular product. But, you know, maybe somebody out there would be interested. I don't really know. Regardless, I am going to I set myself a little 15-minute timer. How close are we? 3 minutes. I didn't want to wind up just yammering on forever and ever, amen. But clearly that's what's happening. In my oldest's writing curricula right now, we're working on the main idea, like the most important thing. And it's impossible to discern what the main idea of kind of a chit-chat video really could be. My mom, she had watched one of my videos and she said, "You were talking a lot and I just didn't know what the point was." That made me laugh in my head. I don't know if I laughed out loud when she said that, but I was like, if anything summed up my chit chat videos, that would be it. That would for sure be it. I do really struggle with the concept of a topic and staying on topic and having, you know, like a bulleted list of things that you then support your main idea with and move on with your life. I tremendously struggle with that. So I'm sitting here going through all of my my oldest's writing work, and we're sitting there trying to discern what the main idea is, and she's so much like me in the way that her brain is looking at these things, like, but wait a minute, this detail, like if this detail wasn't here, it wouldn't make sense. And it's like, yeah, you're right. Or if that detail wasn't there also, it wouldn't make sense. But then trying to assimilate all of those details to figure out what the main point is, man, that's a brain exercise that sometimes we both just don't have the energy to do. And I think that's just the way some of my videos go. And Holly, thank you. I really appreciate you saying that. The chit chat videos I'm also drawn to frequently just because I just want to hear how people's brains are working and functioning. And my mom has been in the midst of a house build, so she's overloaded with a lot of details, or has been, and whatnot. And so I think maybe at some point, just like the mindless chatter, kind of like it's just enough. And so I don't fault her for feeling like that at all. And it's just kind of funny, and humorous. And yeah, I'm not going to give up chit chatting because I'm pretty sure that's what I was born to do. It's my spiritual gifting. But at the same time, like, I always think back to that Planes, Trains, and Automobiles quote Steve Martin said when he said, "Here's an idea. When you're talking, have a point. It makes it so much more interesting for the listeners." Jared says that to me in jest, mind you. And I'm like, you know what? Oh my word, you're right. I am like so on so many tangents and I digress so often, but c'est la vie, c'est la vie. So, all right, I only have about another minute, 30 some seconds before my timer here goes off. That's how I live my life these days, based on timers, so that I can like focus and buckle down on a task for like a few minutes and then try to get on to the next task. Otherwise, literally anything and everything will derail me. Like right behind you, there are 3 ukuleles. Allow me to show you. We have 3 ukuleles, and part of me really wants to just pick one up and just sort of strum along on it, but that's not what I'm doing right now. I'm chatting with you. And then of course I see like my books back here and I'm like, oh, I should, you know, tidy up those books. But if I pick up a book, I'm going to read the book. Oh, timer done. So timers have been my, my friend right now. Usually they're my friend regardless. So, all right, so this was all over the map. Just a quick hello, like, hey, I'm still here. I'm still planning on putting out content, but not in a way that is a like a Vlogmas style content, as far as like vlogging every day or vlogging more or putting out more videos or anything like that. I've thought, wow, grammar, that was excellent. I have thought frequently, like, man, it would be so much fun to like do the family vlog thing, but at the same time, you see the fallout of some of that and it's just not worth it. And then you see some of, I could probably become a narcissist if I were to just film myself talking all the time, every day. And I am vehemently against the narcissism trend that can be going on in the world, especially on the social media. So there's that. I'd rather not do that. And then I think about the people who vlog every day and I think, man, that actually sounds exhausting at the same time as sounding cool. And sometimes the exhaustion weighs out more mightily than anything else. So anyway, I'm gonna leave it right there. I really, I really appreciate y'all coming along and listening to me jabber on for the past 16 minutes now. And I will be uploading a video hopefully shortly, and I hope to see you there.